In today's video, we're gonna go from noob to pro with icons in Webflow. Let's get into it. So in web design, sometimes we need to create icons, but the worst thing you can do, in my opinion, the worst thing you can do is to use a PNG or even worse, a JPEG as your icons. And we're gonna go into the reasons why, but in my opinion, it's inconceivable to just straight up slap a JPEG onto your web page. You're basically asking for trouble. So in today's video, we're gonna break down different ways to use icons on your web projects for the best effects possible. Before we jump into it, remember to subscribe to the channel and like this video if you like the video. And yeah, without much further ado, let's jump into it. Okay, so first things first, I'm gonna show you my design over here. So I have a basic mock-up of some sort of, I don't know, pixel drawing tool. I don't know. I just thought it would be fun just to explore a new design style. So you might notice we have these icons over here. They're created out of pixels. I'm also using some kind of pixel font. If you're curious, I'm using low res from Adobe Fonts, and I'm using the pixel icon set from Streamline. Back to Webflow. So there's a couple ways that you can use these icons, right? I would see designers export them as PNGs, and that's fine. The problem is you often have to export them as 2x, and even then you won't get the best results out of them. But if you need quick and dirty files, a quick and dirty way to get your icons onto your web page, maybe a PNG will do the job. But I prefer to export them as SVGs. Okay, and so when I export them as SVGs, I can bring them into Webflow as a file type, and it's typically very lightweight and easy to use. So if I go into Webflow, I've already created the design here. So I have a page where I've created them as a PNG. So you can see here, you can actually already see how bad they look. And you see how blurry they are. But I've also created an example using SVGs. So you can see here, they're already starting to look better. Now, you could leave it at that, and stop there, right? Importing your images as SVGs over here. You can see their .svg file format, and then just dragging and dropping them onto the page. However, this is still a very limited way to use SVGs. And the reason I say that is if you understand what an SVG actually is, then you'll realize that there's so much more you can do with them. So an SVG is essentially, it's basically code. You're drawing images or drawing icons with code. So now, what does that look like? So if I go back to if I go back to Figma, you can actually copy and paste your icon as an SVG. And if you bring it into Webflow, let's actually just go to this page here. I have an empty one that I haven't done yet. And let me use an HTML embed just so that I can pass some code onto the DOM. So let's just paste that in here. Now, it's a bunch of unreadable code, but this is basically our icon. You can see it has height and width. It has different paths. These are like, I guess, what is used to draw the shapes on the DOM, and it even has fills over here. Okay, so if I save this and close, boom, we have the icon over there. Okay, now just as an example, I'm just gonna grab this color here. I just want you to see that whatever I change over here manipulates the color. So if I replace this black here, okay, and save it, boom, you can see a couple of the shapes have turned green because I've replaced that in the code. Now, this is what makes using SVGs as code very powerful in your Webflow projects, because you can essentially, let's say if I wanted to slap this into a CMS collection, I can pass code, I can pass a field, I can have a field for color and then pass the color into this code as a variable, you know, and that way I can now control my icons through my CMS. Okay, so that's one example. Or you know, I can have these icons inherit colors, you know, from other areas within my project. Okay, now this would actually kind of get annoying, so if I have to replace all of these with this color. So we are going to get rid of that, and there's a better way to do this. So if I go back here and copy as an SVG again, and then use this tool that's called SVG OMG. Fantastic tool. You can see I already was doing this before just as a test. But let's, what you have to do is you have to paste it in here as markup. Okay, so now you have your SVG. And there's a bunch of stuff that this tool is doing, basically simplifying the image. And this is the preview over here. It even shows you how much smaller it's getting. So we can copy that, come back to Webflow, paste that. So much better. It's still not really readable, but this is a lot easier to work with. So if I press save, you can see it's the same thing. Nothing really has changed. But now everywhere it says a fill color, I can change this to current color. Okay, so I can just take that. Everywhere it says fill, I'm just changing it to current color. I think here as well, current color. Boom. And then one more. Yeah, current color. So if I change that, press save. Not much has changed, but let's say if I go to the, you know, to the parent div, and I can change this color over here, you can see I'm affecting the color. Now it looks like I missed something, so let's go back in here. I think I missed something. Oh, there we go. I missed this. So if I change this to current color, it should update. There we go. Save and close. All right, so let's make this back to its normal color. And so now I can basically manipulate these things using code. Now, we could leave it at that, but I wanted to show you a little bit more, just to show you the power of this and what you can do with it. So with all of these divs, I've actually created combo classes where I'm changing the style. Okay. So you can see here, all of them, I kind of have a different style using combo classes. Okay. And I use, now you can, if you know how to write code, you can write it yourself, but I love to use Timothy Rick's jQuery builder. This tool is awesome. Basically what you do, let me actually bring this in as a split window. Basically what you do is you choose your trigger. So on hover, let's say on hover, there we go. On hover of, I want whenever you hover over my button. Okay. I want to target, maybe target trigger element for now. So that means I'm targeting this thing, and I want to toggle class. I think it's button hover, toggle class button hover. So what that means is every time I hover over this, it's going to add the class button hover to it. I can add a new item. Okay, so this time I want to target icon wrapper. Okay, and with icon wrapper, I want to add icon hover. So toggle class icon hover. Okay, now I'm not going to go through it all, But basically, that's exactly what I did. I went through and, customized my code here. And, once you're done, you copy this. So let's pop back out of this. You copy that and you go to your page settings and you paste it right here. So you have to do an open and close tag for script, and then you put it in the body tag, right? So there's my code, and we can save. Okay, so I have that there, and then you publish. Okay. All right, and once we're done that, let me refresh this just to make sure. You can see I am affecting the icon through code directly on the page, and we didn't even need to go into interactions. Okay, so there we go. The best way to get your icons into Webflow, in my humble opinion. That is it for today's video. Thank you so much for staying all the way to the end. If you did, stay all the way to the end, why not subscribe? Thank you so much for watching. Also, leave any comments down below if you have any particular topic that you want me to cover with regards to Webflow or any other design tool or any topics. I'm also thinking of maybe doing portfolio reviews, so let me know in the comments if that's something you would be interested in. And yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll catch y'all on the next one.